Alright, it's a super deluxe secret bonus stream. Don't tell anyone. Make sure you tell no one. Secretly load our game and continue playing. Hold on. We better get to this screen and we better find the camera. What's up, Brian, by the way? Awfully late stream or awfully early for Monday? Which is it? Which is it? You can't have a secret Super Deluxe bonus stream during the day. You have to have it at night when nobody knows. Alright. I'm gonna load up a game here in just 1 second though. I gotta hydrate. I can't play Metal Gear unhydrated. I will get too dehydrated. Alright. Load our game. I had a little bit of extra energy, and I decided, hey, if I'm going to play video games, I might as well make it a Super Deluxe bonus secret stream. Why not? Why not do that? Why not do that? Snake. Hey, here's our place. Mother base. Let's check out our model now. Look at you. You're a thing of beauty. Oh my goodness. I'll wrap you in a sheet. Alright, we're done. Did we... What is this? Delivery. Oh yeah, we don't need that. That's multiplayer stuff. Nobody's in the waiting room, so we're good there. I think I got all my weapons and items that I can build going. Yeah, C4. That's pretty much it. So, back out. Let's go to mission. No whiskey hydration. I have whiskey. I got whiskey and water. You take a sip of whiskey, you take a sip of water, and you'll be good to go. Just like that. Now my sip of water. Now I need my sip of water. Ah, so good. Okay. Mission select. Let's see what we are. Do we have any side ops or anything like that? I'm not sure. Taking any co-op? Watch Danger Man V. Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, no co-op, but appreciate the offer. Alright. So we got a couple of missions here. We got a side op, classified document retrieval, and pursue the jungle train. So we're going to do this one first. Because side ops are... I like to do side ops first, and that's just the way I roll. Obtain all top secret enemy documents at the sorting shed in Bananal Fruit d'Oro. Don't be jealous of my Spanish abilities, guys. It's innate. Alright. I'm gonna jump in.
Here's a rundown of your mission. This one's perfect for a warm-up. Nice and easy. Don't let yourself get lazy, though. Stick to it and get the job done.
Alright. Mission prep. We probably have everything we need, I would think. Got all these goodies. Look at that. Mark 22, level 2, grenades, demag, smoke, stun G, smoke G. All good. What's our terrain? Trees? Is that trees? So in that case, our tree bark is probably pretty good. Wooden buildings and trees. Trees and buildings. Alright. Let us begin. What? Oh. Hold on. About this mission. Hey, we have new files from Pause. Maybe we should hear this.
There's a lot of banana cultivation along Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. The area is dotted with banana plantations. Bananas have been Costa Rica's main crop since they were introduced from Panama in the 19th century. They bring in a fair amount of foreign currency.
A real fruta de oro, huh?
See, but exporting all those bananas require a ton of land.
Hence all the plantations.
Clearing all that forest just to grow bananas robs animals of their habitats. I do not know how good that is for Costa Rica in the end.
Alright, we get that. We got one other tape we can listen to. Let's go ahead and do that.
Panama disease was rampant here about 20 years ago, putting a lot of banana plantations out of business.
Panama disease?
It is caused by a type of fungus. Apparently it killed off almost all the banana species that used to grow here.
How could that happen?
Cultivated bananas do not produce seeds. You have to remove and transplant part of the stem yourself. You plant them in the fields.
So you've got acres of identical plants?
See, when one plant is infected, the disease spreads quickly. Species lacking genetic diversity become weak. They grow different bananas today, one said to be resistant to Panama disease.
Guys, it's nearly 11 o'clock my time, and I bet you didn't think you would have learned so much about bananas. We should go through these file libraries right now, actually. So let's do that. Let's see what other information we have from Miller. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Hope you get yourself a drink. Relax, maybe a snacky cake.
Kaz, what kind of shape is that plant the professor gave us in?
First time I laid eyes on it, I thought it was some kind of joke. It was a giant birdhouse, seagulls everywhere. We eventually scraped off most of the rust and bird crap. The underlying structure's intact. Little elbow grease? Man, we should be in business.
Who used to own it anyway? Whatever shape it's in now, somebody sank some serious money into building it.
From what I can tell, an American university built it as a research platform for ocean thermal energy conversion. The name's still on some of the rusty old power turbines. I'm guessing they must have had government and corporate assistance to build it too. But they couldn't solve the thermal efficiency problem, and the project was canceled. Then after the university abandoned it, a KGB front company scooped it up for next to nothing. At least that's my theory.
How'd the KGB manage to buy a plant built with American capital, front company or not?
Yeah, that professor is quite the operator. One other thing. The plant's set up so that it can join up with other plants of the same standard.
So, they were originally planning on expanding the place, huh?
Hey, let's give it a shot. We can get some more people together and build this place up into a proper home for MSF. You're with me on this, right, boss?
We haven't been keeping up on our file libraries, and I should have been doing that. So maybe we'll listen to what Miller has to say, and then we'll do a mission and listen to some other people. Once we catch up, they'll only introduce a few files here and there, so that's it'll be easier to take it all in.
Snake, you can use the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system to send prisoners and unconscious mercenaries you encounter back to Mother Base. I know you've used the Fulton before, but just to make sure I'm not missing anything, let's review the steps.
Okay.
First, attach a balloon to the unconscious enemy or captured prisoner.
Right. I hook a wire to their waist, and on the other end of the wire, there's a helium balloon.
Right. Then we'll send over a chopper to catch the floating balloon with its recovery hook and reel it up into its cargo hold.
And that's it?
And that's it. We finished installing the recovery hook on the Huey.
Wait, Kaz. Something doesn't make sense about this whole process.
This again.
Well, normally, Fulton recovery is for when you're using fixed-wing aircraft. With a helicopter, isn't it simpler to land and pick up directly?
Listen, Snake. You're going to be calling for recoveries repeatedly throughout your mission. We want to keep the risk of taking enemy fire to a minimum. The best way to get that done is to do the recovery in a high-speed flyby. That's what the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system is for.
Uh-huh. What's the real reason?
Helicopters are cheaper, and the repair bills will start adding up once the bullets start flying.
I thought so. Kaz, I know we need to keep costs down, but...
Boss, you really need to get rid of this whole army mentality. We're not the Pentagon. We don't have billions of taxpayer dollars to play with. And besides...
Fine. Just pick a reason that makes sense.
Helicopters have quicker response time. Sounds strange, yeah, but it works great. I promise. You'll get used to it before long.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's learn about the MSF. The Militaire Sans Frontières. That's French, guys.
Remember why we created MSF Snake. To provide military force to whoever needs it, wherever they are, regardless of nation or ideology. Our beliefs aren't all that lofty.
We just won't be the tools of any one country.
Exactly. We know only how to fight. But we refuse to live our lives at the whim of the state. The MSF seal is patterned after Pangaea, the supercontinent from 250 million years ago. Back then, the whole world was one landmass, one world. No gaps, no rifts.
Our strength will take us back there. What about you, Kaz? Any interest in expanding MSF?
You'd better believe it. I want to make us into an organization that doesn't take orders from any country. Just like you were saying, we have to be strong. Strong enough to defend ourselves. We need money, too. Money to train soldiers to fight. The way I see it, we make MSF into something along the lines of a new kind of business. A contractor providing the full range of military services. Not just combat, but logistics, training, weapons, outfitting, and R&D. Combining the small footprint and exceptional performance of special forces with the raw military might of a full regular army. Only with that kind of power can we break free of nation-states. What I need from you, boss, is to go out and find guys we can bring back here using Fulton recovery. Then tell us what assignment to use them for. I'll take care of the rest.
It's a super deluxe bonus secret stream, so don't tell anyone, alright? Let's learn about the Special Forces.
Your old mentor, the boss. She was known in the West as the mother of Special Forces, right?
Nothing but propaganda.
Actually, it's not all that far from the truth. I heard the KGB just set up a counter-sabotage cell. Alpha Group, I think they call it. There's even a rumor that West Germany created a counter-terrorist unit within its border police after the debacle at the Munich Olympics. Back home in the States, they've got the illustrious Green Berets, the SEALs, and your personal creation, Foxhound. The seeds sown by the boss are beginning to sprout. Same goes for MSF, right? In creating it, you were carrying on the will of the boss.
Yeah. She taught me how to fight the hard way. She beat it into me.
And now, thanks to her, we can take on missions other than just conventional combat. After all, we've got the same mother as the Army's Special Forces.
I'm good, B-Fox, just in a Metal Gear mood. We're catching up right now in the file library. I should have been more proactive about listening to the tapes, but right now we're going to listen to Miller, then we're going to do a mission, and probably listen to someone else's tapes as well. Let's learn about Galvez and Paz.
Still can't believe Professor Galvez was KGB.
Well, like the professor said, Moscow's hell-bent on communizing Latin America.
Yeah, the Cuban intel services are all in the KGB's pocket. You don't think he's got some kind of ulterior motive?
If the CIA is up to something, it's only natural that the KGB wants to know about it. But I doubt they're showing us their full hand.
We'd better watch our backs.
What do you think, Kaz? Why did Paz come all the way to Colombia herself?
It's a long trip to make just to be Exhibit A in Galvez's sales pitch. She's only 16. Still a kid. Maybe we should take her wish for peace at face value.
Let's see what he has to say about the Cold War.
Costa Rica isn't alone. All of Latin America is getting swept up in the superpowers' Cold War. The whole ideological split between East and West. In the end, it's just a greedy scramble for wealth by the ruling classes. The Western bourgeois stand to lose everything if their countries go communist. After all, the communists want to abolish private property altogether. So the capitalist rulers desperately tried to halt the global spread of communism. Hence the phenomenon of red baiting. And the communists, for their part, didn't exactly stay true to their principles. They tried to escape class-based society. But between Stalin's autocracy and the rise of the nomenclatura, they ended up creating one anyway. Once people have power, they stop caring about equality. That's where communism, where society in general reaches its limits. The rulers only care about their own gain. The opposing side becomes a risk factor that threatens the profit, and thus the ongoing struggle between capitalism and communism was born.
And now, nuclear deterrence is part of the picture.
Exactly. They say nuclear weapons are the reason we haven't seen conflict on a global scale since World War II. The thought that your opponent might launch nukes against you sort of makes it tough to start an armed conflict, especially now that they've got intercontinental ballistic missiles. Nowhere is safe.
Of course, all that has caused military expenditures to skyrocket.
Well, the only way to ward off a preemptive strike is to flaunt your own nuclear stockpile, and that's caused their numbers to increase exponentially. Not just with regards to destructive power, but in terms of targeting technology too. Now they can hit a target halfway across the world with pinpoint accuracy. In a way, the space race was a demonstration of that technological progress.
And as a result of all that, we now have mutually assured destruction.
It's the ultimate form of deterrence. No one's going to launch their nukes knowing they'll be obliterated in return.
I don't know. The chance of somebody hitting the button by mistake is never zero.
You're right. Even with peace guaranteed by MAD, there's always the risk of an accident.
Nobody wants the world to end on account of some machines malfunctioning.
On the other hand, thanks to deterrence, we haven't had a world war since 1945. You gotta admit, it has been pretty peaceful.
Not that it matters to us.
People point at the nuclear arms and space races and call it a Cold War. I say if they're not shooting at each other, why not call it world peace?
Doesn't mean war is gone. Look at Korea. Look at Vietnam.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking in relative terms here. Besides, if war died out completely, we'd be SOL.
We're not warmongers.
And yet, we can't survive in a world that's at peace.
You got a point.
What does Miller have to say about the situation in Central America?
Around here, they say La CIA instead of CIA, huh?
Nothing strange about it. That's how it's pronounced when you read it in Spanish.
It has the feminine noun ending a, so they use the article la. Apparently, some people have taken to using the term UCLA.
That's a new one to me. What's it mean?
It stands for Unilaterally Controlled Latino Assets.
Meaning they're local agents?
Yeah, that's the idea. Washington uses them like pawns. Nobody knows who they really are or what they're doing. Hey, Snake, mind if I ask you something?
Since when did you start asking permission?
So, you used to be part of a CIA paramilitary unit, right?
That's right.
Ever do any ops in Central America?
No, not personally. But there were other units who did all kinds of stuff.
I remember the Bay of Pigs invasion back in '61. The papers had a field day with it.
Operation Zapata. That was the CIA code name. The whole thing went south.
Then there was Che Guevara, being hunted down in Bolivia. I heard the CIA had a hand in that, too.
There were several units similar to mine. MSP, SOG. They'd recruit former special forces, train them as intelligence agents, and send them on deniable covert paramilitary operations. One of those units trained the Bolivian army in counter-guerrilla tactics.
And then had them shoot El Che.
So the story goes. So Costa Rica abolished its army back in, what, 1949? Pretty gutsy move for a Central American nation at the time.
Yeah, well, they'd just come out of a civil war. I'm sure they were driven by a desire to avoid another tragedy like Pa said. But I think they had a more compelling reason. Army coup d'etat are a way of life in so many Latin American countries. Imagine seeing that up close.
No army, no coup. Makes sense.
Plus, their economy was in ruins, so they honestly didn't have any money to spend on an army anyway.
Yeah, but weren't they on less than friendly terms with Nicaragua?
Yeah, and in fact, Nicaragua did end up invading. But the Civil Guard fought back and the OAS brokered a ceasefire. The U.S. and the rest of the OAS had their back, and they used it to full advantage. For a quarter century, they survived in the powder keg of Central America. That must have taken some serious diplomacy, even if the Civil Guard is pretty decked out for a police force.
Must be tough to be a country without an army.
So it's been more than 10 years since the Cuban Missile Crisis, huh?
I don't think we'll ever forget it.
No kidding. Those 13 days starting October 15th, 1962, were probably the closest we ever came to all-out nuclear war. The Russians deployed nuclear missiles to Cuba. America responded with a naval blockade. Then Russia shot down an American spy plane. I was still a teenager back then, but I remember what it felt like to be one step away from nuclear war. The adults were freaking out.
If it wasn't for the Cuban Missile Crisis, there might never have been an Operation Snake Eater. And...
What's the matter, Snake? It's not like you to get all hypothetical.
I guess not. It was the reassessment after the missile crisis that paved the way for the hotline between Moscow and Washington, and also for détente. That's irony for you.
The Treaty of Tlatelolco was enacted to make Latin America into a nuclear-free zone. It bans the testing, use, manufacture, production, acquisition, storage, and deployment of nuclear weapons. The impetus was pretty obvious. The series of crises triggered by the deployment of nukes in Cuba.
Not hard to imagine. Those 13 days had the whole world frozen in fear.
Of course, the country that started it all, Cuba, hasn't actually ratified it yet.
Still, the treaty's backed by over 20 countries. Anyone flouting it risks becoming an international pariah.
True. Opinol would investigate, no doubt. I heard they used Japan's 3 non-nuclear principles as their model when they drew up the treaty. I think the Treaty of Tlatelolco might have been their way of asking nuclear powers not to use nukes against them. That's the biggest difference between the treaty and the 3 principles. I guess you could call it a 4th principle.
The 4th principle. Let's learn about a great leader, Che Guevara. Actually, we'll start down here. I'm pretty sure these unlock upwards, so this would be the earliest one that we missed.
That bandana you're always wearing, that thing's a real antique. Ever think about getting a new one?
This one's fine.
Come on, we can't have our boss wearing a raggedy old thing like that.
It was a gift, okay? It wouldn't be right to get rid of it.
It was. Okay then. Speaking of which, Che supposedly had a black scarf he used to take everywhere with him.
A scarf?
One of his comrades gave it to him when he broke his arm in battle. Che used that silk scarf as a sling, and the comrade who gave it to him became his second wife.
Alida, right?
Even after his arm healed up, he never went anywhere without that scarf. What about you? You get that bandana from someone special?
No, nothing like that. It's important to me, that's all.
We actually did get that bandana from someone special, didn't we? Didn't we?
The year the Cuban Revolution was won, Che visited Japan as a member of an economic delegation. While he was there, he visited Hiroshima.
Hiroshima?
Since he was there to discuss economic issues, Hiroshima wasn't part of the original itinerary. Some said the Ministry of Foreign Affairs didn't want to let him go, but he went anyway. He snuck out of his hotel and took an overnight train.
Traveling guerrilla style. Sounds like Che, all right.
He visited the Peace Memorial Museum and the Atomic Bomb Survivors Hospital. Apparently it gave him quite a shock. As a doctor, it must have been painful for him to see how the victims suffered.
Nukes destroy everything.
He was quoted as saying, "They put you through this, and still you do whatever America says." Those words really hit me hard, especially when I think of my mom. He said something else, too. Let us all love Hiroshima and its people.
I can believe it. Che never managed to numb himself to other people's pain. That's why people loved him. And why he died.
Boss, did you ever read Che Guevara's book, Guerrilla Warfare?
I can't remember if I got to that one or not.
You should have. That's why I lent it to you. A lot of the guerrilla tactics it covers apply to sneaking missions, too. Che was one of the first people to articulate the theory of guerrilla warfare. T.E. Lawrence, Lawrence of Arabia, was another one. And Mao Zedong and his On Protracted War. Theory aside, Nicaragua's General Sandino was one of the first to put guerrilla tactics into practice, which explains why the Sandinistas named themselves after him.
If you think about it, guerrilla warfare itself has been around since ancient times. There's only so many ways a small group can upset a large army.
There was a samurai in Japan who excelled in guerrilla warfare.
No kidding.
Tsunoki Masashige. He was a warrior who lived in the medieval era. He used unconventional tactics to help overthrow the Kamakura shogunate.
Like what?
Trojan horse-style maneuvers and decoys to confuse the enemy. The best one was when the enemy was climbing the castle walls. He dumped boiling water and human excrement on them.
Huh, sounds great. Let's put it in the MSF playbook.
You're not serious, are you, boss?
Why not? We've got plenty of crap to unload.
Yeah. I'll think about it.
We have plenty of crap to unload. Let's hear about Che Guevara.
So I hear Amanda mistook you for Che Guevara, Snake. That's not too bad, huh?
Yeah, right. I'm not even worthy of polishing his boots.
Don't be so modest. From where I'm standing, your men see you as a great man.
As great as the century's most complete human being.
That's Sartre, right? Well, there's hardly been a more iconic figure of his times than Che.
Oh, he was more than that. He was a true revolutionary and a great warrior.
I'm with you there. Can you believe that when he first went to Cuba with Fidel, they had only 12 guys with them?
But they rallied. They brought in new recruits, won the support of the peasants, expanded their organization.
And in the end, they overthrew the Batista regime.
People flocked to them because they were honest. They won because they were strong. Those are the qualities that make men great.
You know, we're kind of in the same boat they were back then. Here we are, a handful of mercenaries taking on an army backed by the United States.
Yeah, we've got a long way to go.
But we've got to keep on going. It's not just about winning in battle. You need to think about recruiting people and growing this operation.
Got it.
It's a pretty interesting through theme with Metal Gear games. The United States is the enemy.
So tell me, Kaz, how's the self-defense force you were in different from an army?
The JSDF is set up for national defense. It's not configured for aggression against other countries. It's what you'd call exclusive defense.
Exclusive defense?
It's the fundamental strategic posture of the JSDF. No preemptive attacks. Only the minimum defensive action necessary after an enemy attacks.
Anything defined as self-defense, then?
The JSDF originated as the National Police Reserve. Back then, American forces stationed in Japan were being sent over to fight in the Korean War. So in a sense, the NPR was filling a gap.
Police, huh? Reminds me of the Costa Rican Civil Guard.
Yeah, exactly. They're also dispatched to provide disaster relief. The year before I joined, they had a hell of a time trying to rescue some buses that got hit by landslides. Japan shall not possess, manufacture, or allow the introduction of nuclear weapons into Japan. Those are the 3 non-nuclear principles set forth by the Japanese government.
Allow the introduction. That's funny. Some of the U.S. warships that visit Japanese ports are armed with nukes. Or are you going to tell me they transfer them at sea onto other ships every time they visit?
You raise a good point, Snake. But the Japanese government doesn't recognize it as such. The introduction of nuclear weapons into Japanese territory would need to be agreed upon in advance. America hasn't made any such agreements. Therefore, they aren't bringing nukes into Japan. That's the official excuse.
Doesn't sound like much of an excuse to me.
I don't blame you. Keep in mind, though, Japan suffered actual nuclear attacks. Anti-nuke sentiment there runs deeper than you think. I suppose the government's not really in a position to admit that sort of thing.
The secret society that hijacked the U.S. is enemy. I'm not sure what you mean. Which secret society you're talking about? There's many. There's many. The Illuminati, perhaps.
The U.S. has military forces stationed in Japan, right?
Right. Even though the Allied occupation ended, American forces are still stationed there under the U.S.-Japan Security Treaty.
Unlike Costa Rica.
Part of it stems from the occupation, but Japan also occupies a key strategic position from America's perspective. It's next door to the Soviet Union, and close to China and North Korea as well. It's integral to the security of Pacific Asia. For America, Japan represents a barrier against communism.
What about for Japan?
As you might expect, there's deep-rooted opposition to the alliance. In 1960 and 1970, when the treaty was up for revision, there were mass protest movements against it, especially in Okinawa. The U.S. only gave it back to Japan 2 years ago, and American bases are still concentrated there. It's a heavy burden for the Okinawans to bear.
Then why don't they scrap the treaty?
Lots of reasons. There's the imbalance of power with the U.S., of course, and if Japan pulled out, they'd be losing the nuclear umbrella America provides. And as for whether the JSDF could defend the country after the Americans left, I really couldn't say. Costa Rica is in a similar situation. They depend on the Inter-American Treaty of Reciprocal Assistance, the so-called Rio Pact.
So, the countries with peace constitutions end up having to rely on other countries' armies. Kind of ironic.
On the flip side, not everybody in America is satisfied with it either. Some people argue Japan is freeloading off America's security guarantee. And you know how Japan's industrial exports are making inroads in the States.
Yeah, I've got a Japanese camera myself. Best damn camera around.
Japan's low defense spending allows it to invest more in economic recovery and expand its share of the American market. That's a bitter pill for Americans to swallow.
Well, for sure, Danger Man, for sure. But we are playing through all the Metal Gear games. We started at the original Metal Gear. We're working our way through them. We have not gotten to Metal Gear Solid 4 yet, which is kind of where things you were talking about happen. So we'll kind of keep the discussion to things that have happened so far. And it's not your fault because actually, technically, Metal Gear Solid 4 comes before this game. But I just went ahead and chose to do this one first, and then we'll do Metal Gear Solid 4. Next, and B-Fox, Miller was just talking. You brought that up, and then Miller brought it up as well, so isn't that interesting? Let's hear about the nuclear umbrella.
You know that today, Japan is under the American nuclear umbrella.
Right.
The U.S. vowed to retaliate against any country that launches a nuclear strike against an allied country. That promise deters nuclear attacks against America's allies, hence the term nuclear umbrella. But suppose the Russians nuke Tokyo. Would America really nuke Moscow in return? If they did, the Soviet Union would undoubtedly retaliate. Would Washington really be willing to risk having a bomb dropped on itself in order to avenge Japan? I'm not so sure.
Don't tell me you're still worried about Japan. After all these years?
It's not that.
To be honest, I'm not convinced either. But Moscow faces the same dilemma. Maybe Washington wouldn't retaliate on Japan's behalf. Then again, maybe it would.
So you're saying Moscow wouldn't want to risk being attacked either?
The whole concept of nuclear deterrence is entirely hypothetical to begin with. When you get down to it, it's all smoke and mirrors. You were saying Japan has a peace constitution too.
Yep. Japan renounced war in Article 9 of its constitution, aspiring sincerely to an international peace based on justice and order. The Japanese people forever renounce war as a sovereign right of the nation, and the threat or use of force as a means of settling international disputes. In order to accomplish the aim of the preceding paragraph, land, sea, and air forces, as well as other war potential, will never be maintained. The right of belligerency of the state will not be recognized.
You know it by heart.
Some things you never forget.
Impressive. There were some parts I didn't quite get, though. Like the whole means of settling conflicts thing.
Yeah, that's been the subject of debate. Whether or not it forbids any and all use of force. The current Constitution was originally drawn up under the Allied occupation. The first draft was even submitted by Allied GHQ. So naturally, there are some who feel the Constitution was imposed on Japan by foreigners.
Things like that are never simple. Same for every country, I guess.
One thing's for sure, though. Not having an army let Japan focus on economic recovery after the war. In that sense, it's the same as Costa Rica.
All right. Article 9 and the JSDF.
Kaz, you were in the Japanese Self-Defense Force, right? I thought that Article 9 you were talking about earlier prevented Japan from having an army.
Yeah, and that's another subject of controversy. The Self-Defense Force is an organization for the purpose of defense. Article 9 of the Constitution does not deny Japan's right to self-defense. Therefore, the SDF is constitutional. That's Tokyo's official stance.
Sounds complicated.
Call it what you will. It's a distinctly Japanese way of interpreting things.
Windows 10. Both my computers run on Windows 10. And if we didn't have the SDF, well, who would defend Japan against Godzilla? There's one in here that we haven't. Oh, why Miller quit the JSDF?
So why'd you quit the JSDF?
Because I didn't have a reason to be in Japan anymore.
A reason?
My mom had died 3 years earlier, so I didn't have to care for her anymore. With her gone, there was no point hanging around in Japan.
Yeah, but a man with your talents could have risen pretty high in the ranks, I imagine.
I don't know what they made of me. Could be it actually alienated me from the brass. And personally, I could never get used to the idea of exclusive defense.
Meaning?
On a strategic level, I can see how a country could go with the exclusive defense model used by the JSDF, and I've got nothing against my fellow soldiers who believe in it. On a tactical level, though, it just rubbed me the wrong way. To put it simply, I was itching for a real fight.
I figured.
And I felt as long as I was in the JSDF, I'd never be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with my father, who was in the U.S. Army. Seeing Yukio Mishima's suicide didn't help either.
Yukio Mishima, the guy who wrote The Temple of the Golden Pavilion.
The way he questioned the status quo hit home with me. Not that I admired his vision or anything, but it did get me thinking, that's for sure.
What's up, Icky? We'll enjoy your night out. He's probably talking about the creators update, that one they keep asking about. All right, what do we? Oh man, we still got a few things to learn about. Let's learn about himself. How did Miller meet Snake?
Life's funny sometimes, isn't it?
What brought that on?
We first met as enemies on the battlefield, and now here we are fighting side by side.
You mean Columbia?
Yeah, after I quit the JSDF. I made my way there and got myself a position as a drill sergeant for a band of revolutionaries, despite the fact that I'd never seen a day of combat.
I see you had the gift for talking business in Spanish even back then.
Oh, come on, stop it. You're making me blush. Unlucky for me, though, you were in the service of the Colombian Army. I remember it like it was yesterday. It all happened in an instant. You guys ambushed us, and half my unit was taken out. My mind went totally blank. I couldn't keep it together. My whole unit was wiped out, and I was left half dead from a bomb blast.
Then, as I was leaving, you yelled out at me. I came all the way from Japan to be here. My place is on the battlefield. Then you asked for my help, saying, I want to be the one to end it. I remember being surprised that there were still samurai in Japan.
You guys came over to me. I had a grenade hidden under me, but even then you were too fast. The second I pulled the pin, you grabbed the hand I was using to hold the grenade with both palms.
I didn't want it to go off. I'd heard samurai were a proud bunch. I wanted to know why one of them would stoop so low as to try to take his opponent with him.
And I said, I'll never lose again. We'll never lose again.
Yeah. We'll do whatever it takes, but we'll never be beaten again.
Then, I passed out from the blood loss. When I woke up, I was in your camp's infirmary, stuck full of tubes. Why'd you save me? Your enemy after I tried to kill you.
Because you swallowed your pride and fought with everything you had.
I just didn't want to lose.
You found a way to fight back, even in the face of death, even when you knew you were going to die. That's the mark of a true warrior. It's not about gain and loss, or victory and defeat. I looked at the way you lived your life and saw the path I needed to take. As a warrior.
Wow. I never knew that. And that's why you...
I realized then that the battlefield doesn't only divide people into allies and enemies. Sometimes it tells you more than just who's an ally or who's an enemy. Sometimes it helps reveal your true comrades.
Like you and me, huh?
That's right. And 2 years later, here we are.
Don't forget to give the MSF staff assignments. Where you place people will determine how Mother Base grows.
Right.
That goes for me too. Assign me wherever you think is best.
You? I thought you were second in command.
Don't worry, I've got that covered. But MSF is still small, and I don't have the leisure of sitting around on my butt all day.
I see your point, but...
Not to brag or anything, but I kick ass at whatever job you gave me. Put me in the area you want to focus on developing most. I'll take real good care of the staff there.
Easy, Kaz.
I bet you will, Kaz. So once mortal enemies, now great friends. Miller and Snake. Isn't that amazing? Let's hear about dressing for the mission.
Choosing the right uniform is crucial. Pick one that matches the mission objective and your own combat style. Even a born warrior like you gets hand tremors, Snake. It happens even when you're full of stamina, and it only gets worse when you're tired, especially with larger, heavier weapons. Obviously, you'll get better aim crouching than you will standing. And when you use a scope, setting your sights on a single point will gradually give you a more precise aim. As we develop better weapons at Mother Base, though, you may gain access to new, low-tremor versions of the same guns. So if you expect the shakes to be a problem, you might want to put some resources into R&D.
I'll keep it in mind. Then again, the more you use a weapon, the more your hands get used to it. Sometimes it pays to be faithful to your gun.
Don't carry any more gear than you need. If you try and stuff your entire arsenal into your backpack, it'll be too heavy and your mobility will be impaired. You'll only be hurting yourself.
I know. Take only what you need. Every rookie knows that.
You can check the weight of your gear before heading out. So make sure you do.
Got it.
Can I ask you a favor, Snake?
If you ask nicely.
To make MSF bigger, we need to do some recruiting.
Yeah. What's your point?
I want you to avoid killing enemy soldiers as much as possible and send them back using Fulton recovery. Not much we can do with a corpse except give it a funeral.
Obviously.
Put him to sleep, knock him out, hold him up even. And if you do have to fight, try to leave them near death instead of dead.
And then use the Fulton recovery system. Sounds easy enough.
You know what'd be really nice, though? If we had a way to Fulton recover anybody at any time. You probably heard this a million times, Snake, but you should always avoid combat with the enemy when possible.
Right.
We're outnumbered and in unfamiliar territory. We won't survive long in a straight fight, even with you on our side.
I know. Avoiding combat is rule number 1 in a sneaking mission.
That's right. Don't let the enemy know where you are, and attack only when necessary, using hit-and-run tactics to cripple them. It's the essence of guerrilla warfare. Jungle fatigues are made for jungle combat. They provide decent protection and let you carry a fair number of weapons. Your standard uniform, basically. The distinguishing factor is that your camo index will vary a lot, depending on the area. Wear a pattern that makes you blend in with your surroundings, and your camo index goes up. Wear something that clashes, and you'll stick out like a sore thumb.
Pick the right pattern for the occasion. Sigint used to lecture me on it all the time.
Naked. That's exactly what you are with this uniform. The pants are the same as the jungle fatigues. Obviously, since you're exposing your bare skin, your defense and camo index are gonna be low. On the plus side, it's so light you can move around quicker.
Good for showing off muscles, too.
Hey, Snake, I heard they gave you your old code name because you used to run around with your shirt off. Is that true?
Don't believe everything you hear. They called me naked because I went in without gear or food. I had to procure everything on site.
You mean they sent you into the jungle without even a pair of pants? On a halo jump from 35,000 feet? Sweet Jesus, you are a legend.
You're busting my balls, aren't you, Kaz?
Little bit, yeah.
Hilarious.
You guys know, you've watched the stream enough, you know that I am extremely tactical. And I go into every sneaking mission and come out of it 100% 360 no scoping it. You know that. Let's hear about co-ops.
Cooperative operations, or co-ops for short, is the term for taking on missions in teams of 2 or more. The basic co-ops unit is a 2-man cell.
Even a single teammate is great to have in enemy territory.
And there are actually quite a few things you can't do by yourself. You can help each other climb walls, divide up mission roles. On the other hand, if one of you is spotted, the other one's screwed too. And it's kind of tough for 2 people to hide in one small space.
Good point. But what's more important than anything is how close you are to your comrades.
Well said. Working as a 2-man cell can make the mission easier or harder, depending on how well you work together. It's also good to note that if you've got a clear, specific objective, it can be to your advantage to use an even bigger team. That said, teams of 3 or more run a much greater risk of being spotted.
Yeah. In a sneaking mission, the fewer people you have, the easier it is to get around.
In co-ops, you can trade weapons and equipment with your teammates. You can also display your teammates' inventories from your weapon or equipment menu. Ammo is shared too, of course.
Ammo, sure. How about life? That also shared?
Yep. You all sink or swim together. Your teammate dies, you die. You need to be within a certain distance of each other to swap items.
Yeah, I know. I've been in this business so long I can virtually see that distance. Looks kind of like a ring in my head.
That's why you're the boss. Okay, we'll call it the co-op ring. And entering the ring will be called going co-op in. Another thing. During a mission you can assume what we'll call the snake formation. Same as your code name, but probably not standard operating procedure for a guy who specializes in going solo.
Damn right. There's only room for one snake.
In co-ops, though, it's a highly effective formation. The signal for snake formation is to tap your teammate on the shoulder.
Can't form up until you're close enough to reach out and touch someone.
Entering snake formation is called going snake in. When you're snake in, the soldier at the front of the line controls movement. The soldiers in back focus on scouting and attack. Just because your heart stops doesn't mean you're dead immediately.
Right. The heart just circulates blood through the body. But stopping it does cut oxygen supply to the brain. You'll be dead soon after.
Which is why we have CPR. Let's say your heart does stop. If someone performs CPR before your brain cells die, you can recover. In co-ops, when the life gauge drops to 0, it means you're in a near-death state. You won't be able to move or anything else. Performing CPR on near-death teammates can bring them back into action. Of course, performing CPR in the middle of battle isn't exactly safe. You're leaving yourself exposed. Even so, in co-ops, you and your teammates are all in the same boat. Don't think you can get away with leaving one of them behind.
I wouldn't think of it. And I'd expect them to do the same for me.
If you let all your teammates die during a mission, there'll be nobody left to save you.
And then, it's game over.
Everyone laughs at my mistakes. I was saying that this is a 100% 360 no-scope speedrun, and we can't 100% complete a game unless we listen to all 100% of the audio files. It's very important. We have to know. Like, what if we wanted to learn about camaraderie? How would we do this without listening to this audio file? Impossible.
Building trust with your teammates is essential to success in co-ops.
That goes without saying. I'm not gonna let somebody I can't trust cover my ass.
The measure of that trust is called camaraderie. Think of it as an indicator of how strong your bond is with your co-op's teammates. The friendlier you act toward them, the greater your camaraderie.
Give me an example.
Your camaraderie will be higher if you're co-op in than standing apart. Saving a teammate's life with CPR also strengthens your bonds with them. Things like hitting a teammate with friendly fire will cause your camaraderie to go down.
Makes sense.
Camaraderie carries over from mission to mission. The next time you go co-ops in with the same guy, you'll start off strong. But be careful. If you keep taking new people with you on missions, your camaraderie with past teammates eventually reverts back to its original level.
Got it. I'll have to make sure to renew old friendships once in a while.
The performance benefits gained from Snake Sync in co-ops depend on your camaraderie. It's always best to keep things cool with your teammates. Stand still when you're snake in, and you and your teammates will start to get in sync.
In sync?
That's right. Stay still together and you'll enter snake sync mode. The synergy will give you a boost in performance. You'll move faster, recover faster, and have better camouflage.
In other words, we're at our best when we're in the same groove.
You got it. If you've got a big task ahead, can't hurt to take some time to get in sync. Like I said before, the benefits you get from Snake Sync depend on your camaraderie.
I hear ya. It's a lot easier knowing you've got someone you know and trust covering your back. Lets you focus that much more on what you have to do.
See, B-Fox gets it. B-Fox understands. What do we got here? Also, heroism. Let's learn about heroism, guys.
If camaraderie represents how much your teammates trust you, then heroism shows how high your reputation is.
Heroism?
That's right, heroism. Your reputation affects your ability to recruit new members to MSF. With higher heroism, it won't take as long to convince guys to join our cause and send them back by Fulton recovery.
So, how do I get this heroism thing to go up?
Lots of ways. Complete tough missions, avoid unnecessary bloodshed, and don't get caught by the enemy like a deer in headlights, or you'll never be heroic. Also, getting out there and attacking the enemy in co-ops will boost your reputation among your teammates. Of course, it'll get the enemy gunning right for you, too. But don't sweat it. Be yourself. Be the boss. From where I'm standing, you're plenty heroic already.
Knock it off.
Seems the R&D team's been busy working on co-ops only weapons.
Co-ops only?
Like a gun with extreme firepower, but only when 2 people fire it at once. I hear it's still in the concept stage.
I know some rocket launchers need 2 people to operate, but a co-ops only weapon?
Hey, if they come up with something good, you'll have that much more reason to go co-ops. Why don't you check in and see how they're doing every once in a while? In co-ops, maintaining close communications with your teammates is crucial.
Absolutely. Losing track of each other on the battlefield is a good way for a unit to get itself wiped out.
Enemy positions, orders, distress calls. When communication breaks down, you get picked off one by one. Now about co-ops comms.
Co-ops comms?
It's a radio system for communicating with co-ops teammates. First press the start button to open the menu, then select co-ops comms. After that, press one button to choose a category, then another button to select the actual message. So basically you use different combinations of two buttons to send different messages.
Easy enough.
You can set which messages go with which buttons during mission prep.
Sounds like it's gonna be a pain to send messages until I get used to it.
Then why don't you assign co-ops comms to the back button? That should make things a little quicker and easier. Just go to back button under options.
I'll give it a try.
I was actually just running to refill my drink. Alright, we're almost done, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Let's hear about battle cries and the Kotodama effect. I'm sure I pronounced that correctly.
Snake, you familiar with the Japanese word kotodama?
Kotodama.
Unfortunately, there's no direct equivalent in English. But to keep it simple, let's call it a sort of battle cry.
Battle cry, huh?
Right. But kotodama is actually a deep Japanese concept. Koto means word, and dama means spirit. It signifies that words have power that affect our reality.
Are you feeling okay?
I guess I made it sound kind of like mumbo-jumbo, huh? Seriously, though, haven't you ever felt energized when a teammate cheered you on? Or the other way around? Ever had your legs cut out from under you by a thoughtless remark?
Yeah, I know the feeling. Words can have a powerful mental effect on people.
Same goes for co-ops comms. Offering praise to somebody could make them run faster than usual. Or make somebody who thinks they're done for get up and fight again. See what I'm saying?
I get the picture. So it works in reverse, too.
The powers of words are many and varied. Try using them for yourself.
Oh my god, guys. Let's learn about the cardboard box. We do have a love box. We have not used it yet, but we will. Don't worry, we will.
Snake, about cardboard boxes. It feels kind of weird me explaining this stuff to you. But there have been a few recent developments in cardboard box technology. So just to be safe, here goes.
Go on.
You can do much more with the box than just hide under it. You can put it someplace and leave it there.
Huh?
You can get on top of it and use it to reach high places, or hide from the enemy in its shadow.
I like what I'm hearing so far.
And that's not all. You can even put items in it and send them to co-ops teammates.
Really? I never thought of any of that. Damn. Is there anything a cardboard box can't do? Every soldier should have one.
Yeah, well, don't get too excited. This isn't exactly what they were made for.
Which reminds me, don't you think the boxes around here are a little on the big side?
You're right. I bet two people could fit under one box, if they packed in tight enough. They call them love boxes.
Love boxes?
Of course, you don't need a love box to fit two people inside. Any box of similar size will do.
This is one of my favorite things about Metal Gear. Snake's obsession with cardboard boxes and just how much he adores them. It makes me... Let's hear about two men in a box.
Up to two people can fit inside a cardboard box.
Tell me how.
Move close to a box with a teammate inside, and an icon will appear. Then press the action button. You'll stay inside as long as the action button is pressed.
So, same as snake formation, huh?
Exactly the same. In fact, when you put on a cardboard box when snake in, both of you can climb inside.
Ah, a box big enough to hold me and my buddy. These are fine times we live in, eh, Kaz?
Yeah. Sure, boss. Snake, about that cassette player Galvez was carrying.
What about it?
That was no Russian imitation. It was the real deal. A prototype developed by a Japanese company.
Get out of here.
It's true. It had the Sony logo on it. The product name is Walkman.
Walkman.
It's a revolutionary new concept. Music you can listen to on the go. You can take it with you when you leave the house. I gave it a listen, and you wouldn't believe how good the sound quality is for something so tiny. And in stereo, too. Think of the technology that must have gone into it. And that tape is equally amazing. The treble range is clearly superior to any other cassette ever made. Stylish, too.
How'd Galvez get his hands on a model that's not even out yet?
Beats me. It's not the kind of thing I'd expect some stodgy Soviet to be into.
Me neither. Tell you what, though, it's a fine piece of work. It'll let me listen to my music when I want, where I want.
I never thought I'd hear you say that, but I have to agree. Me? I'm a recording freak, and I always used to laugh at the idea of a portable player. But now that I've seen it in action, I've changed my mind. Being able to take your music with you, this could be the start of a revolution in music.
Could be.
I'm having the guys at Mother Base study and analyze it. Who knows? They might be able to come up with something even better.
Guys, I totally had a Walkman when I was a kid. It took like 8 AA's, and you got about 3 hours of tape life. You could use the radio a lot, but the tape, if you ran the tape, you got about 3 hours on all those AA's. It was insanity. It was also amazing. Learn about enemy soldier types.
Amanda and her crew tell me they've managed to identify several different categories of mercenaries employed by the CIA.
Give me a rundown. Sounds like info I could use.
No problem. I'll go through them in order. The type of enemy you'll be seeing most is the type that patrols and guards a specific operational area. For the sake of convenience, Amanda's crew calls the outdoor ones patrolmen and the indoor ones guards. They might look like they're just out for a stroll, but don't be fooled. They're sharper than they look. All of their senses are finely honed. Normally, they'll patrol along fixed routes, but when the alert level is raised, they'll assume a more efficient alert posture and focus on defending specific points. That's bad for you. Obviously, they can hold their own in combat, and with body armor, it'll be even harder to take them down. If they're wearing a bulletproof helmet, you can forget about one-shot kills. Just a heads up. You'll need to be smart about using camo and pick your routes. The most important thing is to avoid detection. When the enemy spots you and goes on alert, they may call in a backup strike team. These assault teams are heavily armed, well-trained, and highly dangerous. Amanda's crew calls them commandos. Unlike the patrolmen, these guys will actively, relentlessly track and hunt you down like hounds.
Hounds to hunt a former foxhound. Bring it on.
They won't give up easily even if they lose sight of you. They'll clear out any likely hiding places they come across. So don't get too comfy in one spot, or you might get caught again. Keep your eyes fixed on them and what they're doing. Also, be aware that commando gear includes body armor, so don't think you can deal with them by going in guns blazing.
All I've got to do is find an exposed weak point, and...
Exactly. There are areas out there where enemy soldiers are deployed in multiple layers for extra coverage. More than a few of those will be attacking you from a distance, rooftops and far-off vantage points. Try not to get too distracted by nearby enemies, because you could be leaving yourself wide open to longer-range attacks.
I'll be careful.
Enemy tanks, armored vehicles, and attack choppers are always accompanied by a combat squad. The soldiers aren't particularly tough on their own. What makes them formidable is how well they work together as a team. As if you didn't have enough to worry about with the machine.
Good. I like a challenge.
Yeah, we'll see how you feel when you actually have to face them in battle. Snake, whatever you do, don't let them surround you. The last thing you need is to get pushed into the vehicle's kill zone. And pay attention to what your enemies say to each other. You can improve your chances by figuring out what they're planning and using it to preempt their movements. You don't always have to go toe-to-toe to win a fight. Think like a gorilla.
Got it.
You know, I went back and watched the original Tron, and visually, I think it still holds up. I think it's a great look to that movie. But man, that movie is slow and kind of boring. I was a little bit bummed about that.
We know there are variations in the kinds of gear patrolmen and commandos wear, especially the body armor. Our scouts report that an enemy's defense and firing accuracy are directly proportional to how heavy their gear is.
Those must be the guys with the highest combat skills. They can fight in heavier gear without their performance suffering.
Supposedly, it's pretty easy to tell the difference in gear just by looking. So remember, use extra caution when dealing with enemies wearing heavy gear. Enemies will try to fight you from different distances, based on the weapon they've got equipped. When you meet an enemy, get a good look at what they're carrying. It can make or break your chances in battle. Enemies carrying handguns and shotguns will try and get in close. That makes them dangerous, but at the same time, easier to hit. Keep your wits about you, and you can turn a threat into an opportunity.
The only Blade Runner I've ever seen, I watched Blade Runner late, and I saw the director's cut, or the whatever cut, that latest one that came out was where they made some changes and stuff like that. And I thought it was really good.
Enemies carrying assault rifles and machine guns will usually fire at you from farther away. Use whatever cover you can find, then return fire with a few well-placed shots of your own.
I want to say like they took out the like the voiceover and stuff out of Blade Runner or something like that for the director's cut.
Don't expect enemies carrying sniper rifles or rocket launchers to get up close and personal. They'll be constantly moving from place to place looking for an opening to snipe at you. Tricky bastards. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Go with the sniper rifle. Make sure you stay out of their line of sight, and when they expose themselves, take them down.
I mean, we don't need happy endings, for sure. Okay, I think we've listened to everything Miller has to tell us. And we listened to about this mission. And, well, I don't think there's... Did we listen to everything? Oh, yeah, there's Pause, Amanda, Chico, and data files. We should probably. You know what? Let's listen to Pause's tape and then let's do a mission.
Number of warheads detected by the DEW line.
57.
Number of MIRVs included.
Minimum 29, maximum 35.
Target region.
United States, East Coast.
Estimated time of re-entry.
2048 Zulu.
President selected attack option.
Unknown.
The president is dead.
Unknown. Communication has been lost.
I select Offutt Air Force Base as my target.
Offutt? But that's a U.S. base. What on earth do you mean?
Based on the projected number of incoming warheads, Washington, D.C. is presumed destroyed. The president is most likely dead. The U.S. government's control lost.
I realize that. So why not retaliate?
With both sides destroyed, global anarchy would ensue. Recovery would be difficult. The United States' nuclear strike capability must therefore be neutralized in order to preserve the communist bloc, where government remains largely intact.
You're siding with the enemy. You can't be serious.
Tell me, how do you define enemy? There are no borders in this world.
The same conclusion again and again. Where is the flaw? All right, let's try something else. Commencing test.
Understood.
You're crossing a suspension bridge.
Is this my mission?
Yes, your destination is the other side. The bridge is wide enough for only one person to pass at a time. A man is approaching from the opposite side. He's carrying a gun.
I shoot him.
Suppose he's your husband.
I shoot him.
In self-defense?
To spare him the grief. One must die, and one must live.
Next question. Your father asks you to fix the roof and mow the lawn. When you climb the ladder onto the roof, the ladder is taken away.
I fix the roof.
And when you're finished?
I jump down.
You'll break more than bones at this height.
I see no need to change my decision. I have not finished mowing the lawn. I must remain loyal to the mission.
Next. There is a snake in the bushes. It is poisonous. I need you to get rid of it.
I chase it back to its nest.
You can't. The snake's too vicious. It's already killed many people.
I chase it away.
It will bite you unless you kill it.
Go home. Kill me. Kill me now.
Why not kill the snake? Your mission is to get rid of it. Is this what you call loyalty? What are you loyal to? Country? Ideology? Feelings?
I am loyal to myself.
Who's there?
Who's that? Intruder!
Alright, so some interesting things there. That, of course, is the voice of the boss. And that's what leads Snake to believe that the boss may still be alive. Okay, let's back out of here. I think we've listened to enough tapes. Let's go ahead and start a mission. We have 8 minutes, and we have to get the technical data located at the sorting shed in the Banana Fruta de Oro. What's up, Monkey Wawa? You are... I'm not really here, but Zero is cool. That is all. Okay, listen, it's a secret stream, so anybody that's here is a secret. Alright, here we are. Look at this. I don't know if this is the best camouflage for our mission, but we don't have a choice. Okay. There's a guy over there. There's a guy over there. Probably take this guy out first as soon as he turns around. There it is. And sneaky, sneaky. Where's our Fulton? Oh, love box. There we are. So we don't have time to just take everyone out. We need to try to find that
Fulton recovery
information.
subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
It's probably not in here because we would have. That's too easy. Too easy. There's a guy over here. Let's see if we can't take him out as well. Too slow for Snake. You like secrets, do you? Well, this is a secret stream. Don't tell anyone about it. Keep it to yourself. Alright. There is a guy that comes
Fulton recovery
and
helicopter
walks
is
around here
complete.
somewhere. Where is he? Hello? RPG 2. Very nice. Alright. We needed that. We definitely needed that. Remaining 1 items. Here it is here. Look at that. There's still 1 item remaining. Alright. Okay. Alright. Where are you? Oh, that guy. You're asleep. And you're asleep.
Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
Did I play this back on the PSP? I did not. The first time I played this was the HD version, so... Oh, there's my other document. I'm still remaining 1 item. I gotta find it. What am I missing? What am I missing? I don't think there's any more enemies. Remaining items. 2 of 5. Alright. Let's try to find them all. Nope. That's a dead end. I don't think there's any more enemies. I think we just need to now find all the items. Where are you, mysterious items? Monkey, I didn't even know you were following. How did you, oh, hello. There's one. How did you know I was streaming? I mean, it's a secret. That's the thing. And I wouldn't expect anyone to know about a secret stream unless they had some sort of inside information. Where's the last item? I need to find that last item. Got 3 minutes to find the last item. No time to look at chat. Only item searching. Oh, I bet you it's in here. Oh. Got some squares. Got some new camouflage, but that's not the item I need. Wait, hold on. Nope, can't get in there. Oh, there it is.
Okay,
Time extension.
You're done with that area. Head for the goal.
Yep, we out. We oust. We gone.
Mission complete. The folks back at Mother Base will be thrilled.
Oh, I see, Monkey. I see. Well, I didn't realize that, Monkey. Well, I appreciate you, Paul. Very nice of you. 7 extra heroism. Yes, I thought so. I thought so. I've been widowed. I have a new code name, Bear. Yes, Bear. Enemy soldiers extracted with Fulton 4. New camouflage. Oh my goodness, guys, how exciting! Yes, we want to overwrite. All right, Brian. No worries. No worries. Let's go back to Mother Base. Oh, Chico. When I grow up, I want to be a hunter. This guy wants to be a monster hunter, and they talk about monster hunter in the control section as well. C4, we've and the RPG2 is ready for development. Oh my goodness! Mother Base has expanded. All right. What's this here? Database. What's our Mother Base? Rank 2. Player data, we don't need any of this. Let's go ahead and take a look at our dudes. We'll auto-assign these guys. Alligator, Mega Mouth, Shark, Chameleon, and Marlin. Make sure our combat unit is good. R&D team, good. Level 17. Level 7 mess hall, that's okay. As long as we have enough food. 129%, that's good. Medical team, level 6. Not great, but, you know, what are you going to do? And Amanda, still recovering. No, we'll cancel. I'm not going to put her out anyway. We're going to let her recover before we do anything. Delivery, we don't need that. R&D. Let's take a look at that. We have at least the RPG-2. Yep. 14,000. That's fine. We got lots of GMP. No big deal. Ah, and a bear. Remember Grizzly Adams? He had his friend the bear. He had a bear that was, what was the name of Grizzly Adams' bear? Old Ben. Old Ben. I think it was Old Ben. They were friends. They were good friends. He was also Uncle Jesse from the Dukes of Hazzard. Alright. Got my tortilla chips. Very nice. Alright, we're good. That's the only other thing we had to do. Let's take a save. There we are. So he had a beard. He had a great beard. Yeah. Grizzly Adams was Uncle Jesse from the Dukes of Hazzard. And he had a bear called Old Ben. I think it was Old Ben. Pretty sure his name was Old Ben. Mission Selector. Let's take a look at this. Alright. What do we got left? Pursue the jungle train. But we should... Hold on. Hold the phone.
Snake, according to Chico, the nuclear materials will be loaded from a train and onto a truck at a rail terminal near the eastern foot of Irazu. If we can't cut him off at that terminal, we'll be in a world of hurt. Hurry, Snake.
Briefing files, yes. File library. Miller has nothing new to add about this mission. That's fine. Let's hear what Paz has to say.
Costa Rica means rich coast in Spanish.
Is it true that Columbus was the one who came up with the name?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it is true that Columbus landed his ships near Limon back in the age of exploration. He wrote in his diary that when he landed, the indigenous showered him with gifts of gold, hence the name. It sounds a little strange to me. There's no way they could find that much gold in Costa Rica.
Columbus originally set sail in search of the legendary land of gold. Maybe he was just nuts about the stuff.
Costa Rica is rich enough without it. Look at the forests and the animals and the peace-loving people. That is what I want to protect.
I know how you feel.
Democracy took root in Costa Rica before anywhere else in Central America. Sure, we had coup and dictators and all, but never a total meltdown. That is, until 26 years ago.
The Civil War. Yeah. I understand you lost your grandparents.
It started with a dispute over alleged fraud in the presidential election. What I do not understand is why friend turned against friend, when they could have talked it out instead.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Even today, some buildings still have bullet holes from the Civil War. A quarter century later, and it is a tragedy we Ticos cannot forget, must not forget. It was the year after the Civil War that the Army was constitutionally abolished. A new president was elected this year, President Odeber. He seems to be distancing himself from the United States. He has limited the privileges granted to American banks, lifted the sanctions on Cuba. Our last president was so pro-US, people suspected he was in bed with the CIA.
You think the CIA is doing this because it feels threatened by the president's shift in policy?
It is possible, but would they really bring in such a huge army just because of that?
Part of our job is finding out.
Exactly. Thanks, Snake. Peace.
So, are you a student at the University for Peace, Paz?
No, I am still in high school, but Professor Galvez lets me visit his office and study with him every now and then. International law, security, conflict resolution, human rights. We study all these subjects and then use them to build the foundations of peace.
Yeah, I get it. I just never heard the UN had a University for Peace before.
Oh, that. Well, to be precise, it is still being set up. They have started conducting research, but the UN has not passed the necessary resolution yet. Professor Galvez couldn't wait that long.
Oh, right.
Costa Rica abolished its army and has also hosted the Central American Court of Justice. It is the perfect place to build a university like ours. Don't you think?
That coffee you guys brought us is pretty damn good.
Isn't it? Costa Rican coffee is the best. The Central Basin has all the right conditions for growing coffee. It is high in elevation, with steady temperatures and well-drained volcanic soils.
The professor certainly seems attached to it.
The coffee we drank on the boat coming over was awful. It put him in such a terrible mood.
Well, how come I never hear about Costa Rican coffee then?
Because it gets bought up by wholesalers and mixed with beans from other countries. It is really a shame. Such wonderful beans, and nobody knows they are from Costa Rica.
Huh. They should launch an ad campaign or something.
Right. I hope one day people will recognize Costa Rican coffee for what it is.
I'm with you there.
Kind of makes you want to pour yourself a hot, steaming cup of Costa Rican coffee.
Paz, you said Costa Rica has no army, right?
Correct. Article 12 of the Constitution declared that the Army as a permanent institution is abolished. It does permit us to organize armed forces for national defense based on inter-American treaties.
Only temporarily, then.
In effect, yes. But in the years since the Constitution took effect, Costa Rica has not once raised an army.
Paz, how does your country defend itself without an army? Especially in a rough neighborhood like Central America.
With the right kind of diplomacy. If we live up to our ideals and earn the respect of other countries, the international community will support us. The 2 times Nicaragua actually did invade, the conflict was resolved diplomatically under OAS auspices.
Doesn't that leave you depending on the U.S. after all?
American influence is unmatched, it is true. San Jose was critical of American policy at the time, but America supported us all the same. It was because we practiced peaceful diplomacy. That is what I like to think.
That's one way to approach it, sure. But there are countries out there who will use force no matter how bad it looks.
Maybe so. I know my way of thinking probably looks naive to you, but it is not like we expect peace without working for it. Diplomacy is a battle in itself, and we have to make the effort to seek out causes of misfortune and nip them in the bud. It was that kind of thinking that got me trapped in their base.
I'm not blaming you. You haven't done anything wrong.
The Army was abolished 25 years ago, the year after the Civil War. I learned about the sorrow of civil war from a very young age, the futility of countrymen fighting each other, and the tragedy Costa Rica learned the hard way. That is why it abolished its army. It decided to pour its efforts into education instead. More teachers than soldiers was the slogan.
Education is essential, no question. Even Che used to teach reading and writing in between guerrilla campaigns.
Costa Rica was poor at the time. We did not have many resources. I suppose we had to pick one or the other. The military or the schools.
I've had your shoes on for 16 hours. I mean, at this point, you should be taking them off and relaxing and listening to Japan's peace constitution.
Kaz was telling me Japan has a peace constitution, too.
That is right. Apparently, when Costa Rica was drafting its constitution, they looked to the Japanese as a model. Only, Japan's constitution renounces war itself.
Unlike Costa Rica.
But Japan has a self-defense force, right? That I do not get. I think I will ask Mr. Miller about it next time I see him. He said he used to be in the JSDF.
Huh. You're a curious one, are you? Don't study too hard. What was that you were saying? Peace is not the natural state of men? You said you learned it in school.
That is right. They are the words of the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. In 1795, he wrote a book titled Perpetual Peace. Kant argued that it is precisely because peace is unnatural that we have to make it ourselves.
How?
That is what his book is about. Is the concept starting to sound interesting now?
Not really. I belong in a more natural world.
Is that so? My grandparents died in the Civil War. If only we had been at peace, they would not have lost their lives. You actually wish for war?
It's not like I want to hurt innocent civilians, but if someone attacks you, what are you supposed to do? A country needs the strength to defend itself. Otherwise it faces invasion, oppression, political subjugation.
If they would simply stop using force to tangle with each other, countries would not need force to defend themselves.
And how would you guarantee that?
Sorry,
but you have to understand how the world works in order to protect the ones you love. That's not to say ideals aren't important too. They are.
You are right, Snake. Thanks. Peace.
It's good to hear, B-Fox. It is Friday. We're after midnight my time, and you should not be wearing shoes. Obviously, if you're in the stream, you're not wearing pants, because that is against the rules. But the shoes should probably go too. Let's hear about Costa Rica's natural environment.
Costa Rica's forests are more diverse than you might expect. Not all of them are tropical rainforests. Costa Rica is close to the equator, it is true, but it is also very mountainous.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Go up 4,000 feet in elevation and the temperature drops more than 7 degrees.
There are basically 3 types of forests. The lowlands are covered in tropical rainforests, the highlands by tropical cloud forests, and areas where there is a dry season have tropical dry forests. The lowlands along the Caribbean coast are mostly covered by hot, humid tropical rainforests, what most people envision when they think of jungle. The closely packed trees spread their branches out at great heights to soak up the sun. Their shade makes it dark near the ground, so be careful. Of course, with so little light, few plants can grow on the ground, so it might actually be easier to walk.
So even if you could photosynthesize, it wouldn't do you any good.
Photosynthesize? People cannot do that.
Most people, anyway.
Is that a hint at what's to come at Metal Gear Solid 5? I don't know. Perhaps. We've been listening to tapes for 90 minutes. Well, you know what? I find this absolutely fascinating. And listen, if we're going to play a 100% 360 no-scope speedrun of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, we have to listen to the tapes. We have to. Now, of course, had I been listening all along, I should have been listening as they became available, and then we wouldn't have so many at one time. But hey, listen, that's the way it goes. We're going to listen to pause, and then we're going to do another mission. So that's how we're going to work this We're going to do a mission, listen to tapes, do a mission, listen to tapes. We're going to keep it going until we're caught up, and then at that point, you know, it's just a few tapes here and there. What's up, Crow? Friday night special. It's secret stream, Crow. Don't tell anyone. Just relax and hide here from the rest of the world. Well, welcome back, Brian. Let's hear about tropical dry forests.
Areas with a distinct dry season, like the Pacific coast, have tropical dry forests. During the dry season, the trees drop their leaves. It gives you a clearer view, but at the same time, there are fewer places to hide. So be careful.
Sounds dull.
It is not really. A lot of trees flower during the dry season, including my favorite, the tabebuia. It has these amazingly vivid yellow flowers.
Oh, but we did do a mission. We did do a mission, B-Fox.
Costa Rica is said to have about 87,000 species of living things. That is about 5% of all the known species in the world.
A tiny place like this? Huh. I'll be damned.
I want to protect that biological diversity. When diversity is lost, the environment weakens. Just look at the plantations.
I think I know what you mean. It's like trying to assemble a unit from similar guys. It usually doesn't work out. Throw a few square pegs in there and everything falls into place.
There are so many species here that a lot of them have not even been classified yet. I am hoping I can help do that someday. Kind of like a parataxonomist.
Say that again?
Parataxonomist. Someone who helps a taxonomist.
Oh. Huh. I thought you were going to say it had something to do with parachutes.
You're weird.
Where is the rum? I can tell you that I know where the whiskey is. It's right here in my hand. Cheers to anyone having a beverage tonight. How do we got? We're getting down to it. We've got a few more tapes to listen to from Pause, and then we'll do another mission.
The Development Corporation of Costa Rica, or CODESA, was established 2 years ago. Since President Oduber was elected this year, the state has been putting a lot more effort into development.
The corporate state, so to speak.
Growth is good and all, but there is one thing that bugs me.
What's that?
I cannot help but wonder whether CODESA is not just a front for the CIA.
You mean what the professor was saying about the CIA mercenaries posing as security guards? They were using CODESA as camouflage?
I am worried that development is going to destroy the forests, but I do not suppose it has anything to do with this. My mother was the one who named me Paz. She said it was an expression of her wish that the country stay at peace. It is a pretty common name in Central America. My mother always used to tell me, never make war. Always help keep the peace.
I remember. Your grandparents.
Yes. They died in the Civil War. I think that is why my mother hated war so much.
That's another thing you've got in common with Kaz. His mother named him Peace, too.
See, because Japan also suffered through war. I think I know how Mr. Miller's mother felt.
You like the peace sign, huh?
See, as a gesture, it connects every peace-loving person. Here, you try it, Snake. Peace.
No thanks. It doesn't suit me.
Too bad for you.
You know, the V in the peace sign comes from the V in victory. When did it start standing for peace?
I am not completely sure, but I guess it came out of the protest movement against the Vietnam War. Oh, and do not turn your hand around when you do it, especially around British people. It is insulting.
So, you live alone now?
No, not alone. I've been living in school dormitories since I started junior high. After my mother died, my relatives took me in, but they were not my real family.
You didn't fit in there?
In a way. My aunts were kind to me and all. But I know how difficult it must have been to suddenly have a child thrust into their lives. When you live with someone, there are no secrets. I could tell my being there was a burden on them.
Sounds like a rough childhood.
I would not say that. I was lucky just to have people take me in. There were fanos living out in the streets because their mothers died. It is even worse in countries with frequent civil wars. So, who am I to complain about my childhood?
You're a pretty tough kid, you know?
Not at all. I am not strong at all.
Welcome to the stream, Snack. Regular Pepsi. Well, I'm not... Regular Pepsi's alright. Regular Pepsi is better than Diet Coke. That's for sure. Diet Coke has such a chemically taste. It is, it's not good. Let's learn about the Playa del Alba.
Playa del Alba means Beach of Dawn. The morning sun is so beautiful over the Caribbean.
Beach of Dawn, huh? Perfect place to start a mission.
The clear blue water, the white sand, the swaying palm trees. You cannot get more South American than here. It is paradise on earth.
Yeah, guess I should have packed my Hawaiian shirt.
The coral reefs and mangrove forests protect the small fish in the area. Sea turtles come to lay their eggs on these beaches. We are not the only ones who enjoy this place. It is heaven for more than just humans. Bosque del Alba means Forest of Dawn. Naturally, it is situated on the east coast. It is your standard tropical rainforest. Everything you would imagine in a jungle.
No sign of morning sun here.
The foliage is too thick for direct sunlight to hit the floor. I do not know how easy it will be making your way through here.
I'll be fine. This isn't my first trip to a jungle.
The mercenary supply base is situated on elevated ground by the coast. I heard them call it Puerto del Alba, Port of Dawn. They have perfect visibility of the area from up there. We did our best to sneak in undetected, but one of the guards spotted us and we...
What is it?
I'm sorry. You'll have to ask Professor Galvez the rest.
It's okay. You've been through a lot.
I am sorry. I just cannot.
You did great, Paz. I won't let your efforts go wasted.
So we would be learning this information kind of as we went. Like these, you know, this information pops up as we get new missions. So it's a little more relevant when we're playing. But of course, you know, I have not been listening to these, so we're kind of catching up. But now that we're caught up, we're going to be listening as we go.
This is a tropical rainforest, just like Bosque del Alba. The temperature and humidity can be brutal. El Senegal means place of mud.
No, mud. Great. I'll watch my step.
This area often gets flooded by the river. There are canals here and there carved out by water.
Good places to hide.
But they will also make it harder for you to see. Be careful, Snake. There should be a suspension bridge around there.
In lowlands like this?
The ground nearby is harder and higher than usual. The river cut through it, eventually creating a valley. There might be another way to get across the river somewhere.
I wouldn't want to run into someone on the bridge.
The valley tends to be misty, so you might not be able to see the water from up there. Fall and it will leave more than a bump.
I'll be careful.
When a river floods an area, the banks can collapse, creating a marsh. You see a lot of them around here.
I'll need to watch the noise my feet make in El Senegal.
There is a marsh on the other side of the river too. The suspension bridge will take you there. The river running through here is Rio del Jade, or the Jade River.
Jade? Are there minerals around here?
No, it refers to the color of the water. You will have to go to Guatemala for jade.
Doesn't look all that pretty from where I'm standing.
We are still in the rainy season, so the river is a little muddy. It will return to normal once the dry season starts. Rivers are an important means of transport around here. They are relatively calm, and there are plenty of canals along the coast too.
A boat would be more than enough to transport some good-sized cargo.
Like a nuclear weapon.
We don't know enough yet. I'll keep looking.
Thank you, Snake. Costa Rica has several active volcanoes, Irasu being one of them.
That's where Camino de Lava comes from, huh?
The tropical dry forests around here are quite different from our rainforests. They lose their leaves in the dry season. Tropical forests are not all thick jungles. A few of them even have cacti. Some of Costa Rica's greatest assets are its diverse forests and natural landscapes. Costa Rica got its first real railroads up and running about 100 years ago. Their primary purpose was to move coffee harvested in the Central Basin to the Caribbean coast.
They built railroads here 100 years ago? That's impressive.
It was even more difficult than you would imagine. Later, they started using the railroads for shipping bananas too. There still might be some branch lines around here. Aldea de los Despiertos means Village of the Awake.
Weird name.
The area is littered with coffee fields, and there is a factory nearby. The villagers are fans of coffee, so...
Nah, they don't get much sleep, huh? They've got a sense of humor, all right.
I cannot believe they would take over a place like this and use it as a prison. It is unforgivable for both the CIA and the thugs they employ. All the villagers wanted was to live in peace. What gives the CIA the right to crush them like that?
They don't care about anyone's rights but their own. It's just the way some people are.
You really think so?
Don't worry. It just gives me the right to teach them a lesson.
Alright, that's everything Paz has to tell us. We have Amanda and Chico still to go, but let's do a mission, shall we? Volcano Arazu, looks like it's trees again. Is that trees? I suppose it is. Mission prep, I think we have everything we need. If it's trees, we're good. Let's go ahead and start the mission.
The train terminal is on the other side of the coffee factory. Head for the factory first. To get to the coffee factory, you'll first need to backtrack to the fork in the road.
Alright. Start taking dudes out one by one. This guy.
Start talking.
Oh, he's got nothing to say. We'll check him out. Later. Put our Fulton on and say bye-bye. Okay. Whoop. I don't want to roll.
Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
Oh, there's a dude there. Look at that guy. I haven't had a vanilla Coke in a long, long time.
Fulton recovery helicopter is complete.
Those things.
Start by making your way to the coffee factory.
Gotta get... Oh, look at that guy. Can you see me? Let's see our area map here. Alright, our goal is there. Our target is there. So we need to get through this area. I thought you saw something, did you? Oh, there he goes. Very nice. Choke this guy out. We could be analyzing these guys and making sure that they're worth our while. Where's our analyzer? I mean, we only have so many Fultons, and this guy's a D. He's not, which means he's not an E. And E's are the worst.
Not enough room, huh? We'll keep it here at the base.
So maybe, as long as they're not E's, maybe we'll take them. That's fair enough. Oh, there's a thing
Fulton
down here.
recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
And where's our, we do have our sound indicator, or whatever it's called. Da-dee-dee-dee. Oh boy, that guy saw something. Shh.
I know I saw something.
It's okay. You know you saw something.
We're under attack!
Oh, and we get this guy now. Yep, there it is. That might be the first time we've been discovered in Peace Walker so far. Can't drink much sugared soda because it messes with my stomach. I end up spitting up foam for a few hours. Ugh. Yeah, you can't. Don't be doing that. You just gotta quit. Like, you gotta quit soda. Just move on. Just water is fine. Too much soda, man. Too much soda. You don't need it. You don't need it in your life. There's all kinds of other things you could be doing and enjoying. Alright. Can't get over this. Thought maybe we could get behind there and see what's behind there, but we can't. Can't do it. Alright, that's fine. We gotta get through this area anyway. Gotta move on.
There's a coffee factory to the northeast. Beyond that is a train terminal.
Yeah, Tyler's got that problem. He just loves not buying. Oh. Someone's shooting at that. Someone is shooting at that target dummy. I think it's a sniper. Where is he, though? Oh, he's over there. Up there? Do we see him? There, we got him. Good.
Wait.
Let's see what this guy... Oh, what? Wait. Wait, what?
Can't be imagining things.
Oh, that guy there. Okay, it's fine. Got him. Now let's take a look at these guys and see how good they are with our analyzer. It's a D. This guy, I don't know if I can get to this guy. He's up on the hill. S! What? What? Alright, can we get to that guy? That guy's an S rank. That guy's an E. How can I get up to that guy, though? I'm not sure I can. Like, I don't know that guy... I don't know if there's a way up. Man. Alright, Crow. Alright, Crow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great night. Please have a great night. Have good sleep, and I'll see you next time. I wonder if I can get up there and get that guy. Is an S.
Plantation northeast of here.
That guy is an S. Let's see. I mean, there might be another way through the different areas here. Like, I might be able to come up and back around. Maybe. But... man. Okay. If I can get up there.
The enemy's here!
No way. You didn't see nothing. What's he got? What is he? An E? Come on. Come on. Come on. I don't think I can get to that sniper. I'm pretty sure they're just putting it up there to taunt me. Because... he's up on that hill, and I don't think there's any way up there. Bummer. Guy's super awesome. That... D, I guess we need, at this point, we just need to start filling out. I just don't want to, you know, I only have so many Fultons. I got 5 left. You know, I want to at least pick and choose the better dudes to Fulton. That's my thought, anyway. Can I get up here at all? Because I would think you'd be up on that ridge. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to be able to. Just not to be. This is dead end. Yeah. See if there's something. Ooh, hello. There's a prisoner here, though. See? That's good.
Fulton recovery helicopter is complete.
Alright. Well, that was worth it. Those guys are usually pretty good. And we'll add them to our inventory of dudes. I'm always on the search, on the lookout for a good dude. That's true. Okay. This place should be pretty much good to go. These guys are still sleeping. I got 4 Fultons left, though, so I'm not going to use it on ease. Not yet. This guy's a D, though. So I guess he can go. So where we gotta go? To our destination. Aleda Los Desperados. If you know what I mean. Alright. Been here before, right? Did I not take out everyone here? I think I did. I think everyone here is... Oh, hello. Is it this way? Nope. Nope, nope. We gotta go this way. I guess I didn't look around enough to know for sure that there wasn't maybe some prisoners or something. You know, I probably did. Probably good to go here. That's... love box. Love box. Let's go get that love box. Man, how do I get that love box? I don't have a choice. I mean, I can only take what I can take. I mean, I can take what they give me, and that's it. But that guy, they're definitely, why do you get there? That is a weird spot. Definitely put that S guy up there just to taunt me.
Remember that basin with the locomotive? Go through there, then head toward the coffee factory.
Alright. No, I don't want that. Do I want to go this way? Maybe. Let's see where this takes us. Oh no, I don't want to go that way. How would you get that love box? That love box is blocked. Pretty sure that love box is blocked by that exclamation mark triangle thing. Upside down exclamation mark triangle thing. I'm pretty sure. Oops. Love Shack is a little known place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby. So that way is a way on, but I can't get that. I can't go that way. Alright. So I gotta go around the long way? Maybe. Maybe I do gotta go this way after all. Have I been here? I've been here before. Need to be careful. Have to be very careful. So this way should take us where we want to go. I think. Yeah, there we are. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Alright. I don't want to go... well, actually, come on. Hold on. This might be where we get our love box. I think we do want a love box if we can get it. Yes. Hello. Hello. Love box. Oh, no, no, no. Son of... back. I want to go back and get that love box. Love box is a little known box. Alright. Shh. There it is there. Love box. Climb the... There it is. That's all I wanted, guys. It's just the love box. Alright, guys. I gotta take a quick break here. Step away and use the facilities, and then we're gonna try to get to our destination here. Gotta go through this. Look at this place we gotta go through. Looks dangerous to me. Thanks for hanging out with me on a super deluxe bonus secret stream. Don't tell your friends, guys. This is a secret. It's a private club, and no one else is invited. Back in a sec. Have a great night, B-Fox. Thanks for hanging out in the stream. Appreciate that. Alright, guys. I am back. Je suis retourné. Oh, wait. Stream? There we are. Okay. Let's continue to move. Let's be quiet about it. Alright. There's a dude there. Come on, baby. Probably didn't have to waste that ammo, but I don't know. I guess it was too easy. Uh-oh. Let's get this guy too. Got him. Let's take a look at these guys and see what they are. What are they? E and that's an E2. Alright. I mean, I'm not too excited about E's, to be honest. If we're being honest. I got only a few Fultons left. Right? Oh, I got 3 Fultons. So we need to be a little more careful about who we take. Nah, it's fine. Oh, here's something there. Anesthesia rounds. Anesthesia rounds. Anesthesia. Alright, there's another dude up there. Ooh, hello. Always good to rescue the prisoners as well. Not only do they appreciate it, but they tend to be pretty good.
Enemies close by.
Soldiers for your unit. Where this guy? Analyzer. What's he got? What do you have for me, sir? Are you an E? You're a D? Alright. I'll take you. 2 Fultons left, though. Man, oh man, oh man. Alright. Get rid of you. But then we'll save the last Fulton for maybe either a prisoner or at least
Fulton
someone
recovery subject confirmed
good.
onboard helicopter.
Oop, there's a dude. I'm not gonna worry about him. There's no point in... Well, we can shoot him just not so he doesn't see us, but we can't Fulton recover him, I don't believe. Unless we can get up on that catwalk. And I'm not sure. They love it. They love when they get Fultoned. Prisoners do. Soldiers not so much, but the prisoners are super into it. Ba, ba, ba.
What was that?
That was what? Oh, that guy up there? Seeing things. Okay. Man. Get out of here. Go to sleep. Stop looking this way. Got him. Alright. Oh, there's another prisoner. See? Totally worthwhile saving Fulton's. La-dee-dee. Do-do-do.
Pass through the coffee factory to reach the train terminal.
Okay. Is there another... Oh, man, there's another prisoner, and I'm out of Fultons. I can't believe I have to leave a prisoner behind. That would suck. Maybe we can find some in here. That's D.
What was that?
D. Oh man, so many prisoners. So many prisoners. Not enough time. someone up there see me? They might have. We have to be careful. Please, please have some Fultons for me. I just need a couple of Fultons. Just need a couple of Fultons to get me by, you know, just for tonight. Just a couple of Fultons. I don't think you can get them out of these guys. Like, I'm trying to find... trying to get items out of them. I don't think you can get Fultons. Usually just generally get ammo. There's some anesthesia ammo. But there's gotta be something around here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That guy's out cold. Alright, that's where we want to go. But I just want to take a look around and see if there's anything here. And such a late night stream. Yeah, it's a late night Super Deluxe bonus stream, secret stream. Sometimes they happen, you know, and you gotta be prepared. You gotta be ready. At all times, a stream could happen. But there's no Fultons. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Oh, I didn't take the thing either. I should have took the resupply item. Then maybe I could have got Fultons. But turns out I'm not going to get them. Gonna have to leave these prisoners behind. It's a sad, sad thing. Can't Fulton them out of here. Man. What's over here? Rations? Yeah, but no Fultons. No Fultanes. You were getting chicken dinners? Were you getting chicken dinners, though? Did you get a chicken dinner, or did you not? Oh, hold on. You did get chicken dinner. That's awesome.
Neutralize all enemies and secure the train.
Congratulations, that's great. Neutralize every enemy and secure the train. We can do that, can't we? Can we not do that? Let's see here. Guy. You want to check on him? Not bad at all. Another dude over here. Where did he go? There he is. Oh.
We're under attack!
No, you're not. You're fine. Alright. But no, I can't. Let's see what I'm missing here. What if I analyze these guys, there's gonna be like an S. That guy's an E. There's a C. A C. Ugh. prisoners, a sea, everything.
Check out the cargo.
Nukes.
To be continued. They're going to give us a chance to switch out our equipment and stuff. 12 heroism, of course. I feel bad that I left those prisoners behind, though. The M60, that's good. That's good news. Alright, let's go to Mother Base. RPG-2, got that. M60, ready for development. Sonic Eye, okay. These guys are ranking up. Sidewinder, these guys are going to the jail. Good. We've got these guys. Let's put them wherever they go, on our side. Very nice. Okay. And these things are starting to get expensive. These items that I can develop. So, alright. Let's go over here and save. Alright, guys. That's going to be all she wrote for the stream. It's getting late. Let's call it a night. We'll come back fresh. Probably Monday. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to stream Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. You never know. But, for sure, Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern, of course. We always have a stream. So, appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a late night super deluxe secret bonus stream. And we'll see you next time.